Welcome back. Well, big changes to superannuation came into effect on July 1st, but many people miss them. The new rules affect everything from how often your employer has to pay into your account to how much you can contribute and where your money is invested. Now, the changes mean nest eggs could increase by thousands of dollars over the course of your working career.
Yeah, with around $6.25 billion in super going unpaid every year and almost $19 billion sitting in lost and unclaimed, there is some serious money hiding out there. Leading financial author and founder of Pivot Wealth, Ben Nash, joins us now. This sort of stuff gets you excited, doesn't it? Explain what these changes mean and how it does affect workers.
Yeah, so the main one is the payday super rules that have just come in from the 1st of July, which essentially means that now employers are required to pay their employees super contributions within 7 days of their actual pay date. So historically, it was a 3-month period, and basically that within about 20 days of the end of a quarter, the super needed to be paid. Now, if you're getting paid weekly, it must be paid within 7 days of that date. So that means more money's coming into your super more regularly. The employers aren't sitting on the money for as long, and it's actually being invested inside people's super funds.
Yeah, so it's that old compound interest thing, right? Better in our account than in the employers.
How can you check that your employer is actually doing the right thing?
Well, it's easier now to check because the frequency is so short. So essentially, you should be seeing money come into your super account in line with your payslip within 7 days of you being paid.
If you're paid fortnightly every fortnight.
That's correct, yeah. So with weekly, fortnightly or monthly, it's within 7 days of your pay date, the money should be coming in and you should be able to just see it on your statement. And as you said in the intro, $6 billion of unpaid super every year. So it's worth people actually taking a look at.
Right. If super is being paid into your account more often, does it matter more than ever where the money's invested?
Well, it does mean that you've got more money in your super and an opportunity to get that money working for you. And so I think it's important at any time to ensure that your super money is invested into good investments and actually working hard for you and not just your super company. But given that the money's now coming in more frequently, it's probably a good nudge to look at how your money is invested, make sure you're in the right super fund. There's a big spread in these funds, even across the big default funds, up to sort of 3 percentage points difference across them. And that makes a 7-figure difference, like for a 30-year-old by retirement. So make sure that you've got it right.
Yeah, it is worthwhile finding every cent. If you have moved jobs a couple of times and therefore you've just gone with different default super accounts there, how do you find that missing money in those old forgotten accounts?
Well, thankfully, the government has made it quite easy these days through the MyGov website that you can do an easy super search and look at any lost super money, which is basically any super fund that's been dormant for a set period of time or has a balance below a certain level. You can also consolidate quite easily through the MyGov portal as well. And that allows you to actually get all the money together, invest it into one pool, which typically means that it's better than having it all spread out and you're not paying multiple sets of fees.
That's as simple as putting your tax file number in and it all sort of shows up on a search?
Absolutely. The only thing to be careful of if you're consolidating super funds through the portal is to just look out for any insurance policies that you might have in your super fund, particularly if you've had any health issues that might impact your ability to get insurance in the future, because it is just a couple of buttons and then once you close the old fund, the insurance disappears.
Gee, that's a good tip. That's a really good tip. Salary sacrificing is increasingly popular. A good way for people to give their super a big boost. I know it depends where you're sitting at in your lifespan, but just take us through that.
Look, I think this is one of the simplest and most effective hacks when it comes to your super. Like, yes, it can save you some tax, and as you get into those years where you're really focused on building your super, it can be a great way to do that. But even if you're younger and even if your cash flow might feel a bit tight, putting something like $10 or $20 into your super fund, I've noticed over the years advising clients that as soon as that happens, people start paying a lot more attention to their super fund. They look at where it is, they look at how it's invested, they look at the fees that they're paying, and then they get the money actually working harder for them. So yes, it does give you some tax savings, but it's got a bunch of other benefits as well that I think is really worthwhile.
And making your own contribution as well, you can do that to a point?
Yeah, and you can do that. There's a limit of $32,500 that you can make, including any contributions that come in through your employer each year. And you can do it, you can instruct your employer to do it through what's called salary sacrifice so that it comes out pre-tax and you actually feel less than the $10 or $20 that you put in as well.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Cheers, mate. Made that very easy.